Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News at 5 starts now.
Good evening. Several Kern County communities recovering from back-to-back earthquakes that hit last week, prompting a state of emergency declaration. The U.S. Geological Survey saying there has been at least $1 billion in damage that's now been done.
23 ABC's Bayon Wang joins us tonight from Ridgecrest, where recovery efforts are underway.
I think we're incredibly lucky.
Luck, an understatement for instructor Jeff Welsh and several students who have summer courses at the Cerro Coso Community College.
No fatalities and, to my knowledge, no real serious injuries.
An unfortunate turnout, however, for the college itself. On their Facebook page, the school announced that their facility experienced substantial damage, a disheartening turnout after a 3-year multi-million-dollar remodeling project, according to Jeff Welsh.
I'm really glad that it's not fall that this has happened here. I mean, because the potential for damage and injury, of course, is much higher than it would have been.
The school announcing that the entire campus will remain closed until building inspectors complete their assessment. Throughout the day, Police Chief Jed McLaughlin said inspectors were scheduled to check buildings for structural damage, just one of the many tasks in order to get the city back on its feet. However, several residents from Ridgecrest, Trona, and neighboring areas are still seeking assistance from the Red Cross at the Kerr-McGee Community Center.
We have no gas, no water. The power was going on and off. In fact, since we've been here, I don't know if they have power. And then there's some like really good friends of mine that their house was red flagged. They can't even go back in it. So we have people that don't even have anywhere to live now.
The USGS says there's a 5% chance another major earthquake can strike in the area within the next several days. But the American Red Cross at the Kerr-McGee Community Centers says they're ready.
We believe we're ready here. This is a very sound building. We have enough food for the people here and water for them here.
That was 23 ABC's Bayon Wang reporting, and Ridgecrest officials are reminding everyone impacted by the quake to check their homes and businesses for possible structural damage. If you suspect your home or business has been damaged by the quake, you are encouraged to call 1-760-499-5083. That number on your screen right now. You can also make reports online through email at quakedamage@ridgecrest-ca.gov. Ridgecrest police say the city has a task force of inspectors available to review conditions. And the Kern County Sheriff's Office has released videos that were taken over the weekend from their air support units above Ridgecrest, showing the damage that's been done to sections of the desert and Highway 178. As you can see, there are cracks in the roadway from the ground where it was shaken up in those earthquakes and aftershocks, and there are fault lines that have appeared across the desert floor. Crews are still surveying the extent of the damage.
Well, it's been a few days since the 7.1 magnitude earthquake was felt here in Bakersfield, and many people are wondering if a major earthquake took place in the city of Bakersfield, would we be ready? 23
ABC's Leslie Gooden spoke with state and county officials on how safe our infrastructure is here in Bakersfield. She joins us live in downtown Bakersfield with what they're saying. Leslie?
Yes, today I spoke with county officials who are telling me they're ensuring the county's safety ahead of another earthquake.
If you have less buildings to break, you're going to have less broken buildings.
Paul Earle, seismologist for the U.S. Geological Survey, or USGS, says the damage that is seen in Ridgecrest could have been worse if it hit in a different area.
It would have happened in a more highly populated area. The damages to infrastructure and potential for injuries and even deaths would go up considerably.
Earl says that California overall is doing a decent job going through and retrofitting buildings, but they can always do better by finding buildings that are most vulnerable and make them more resistant.
An earthquake, so we cannot tell you that this is going to happen in the near future, but we can tell you that Bakersfield is in a region that we expect sometime in the future to have significant shaking.
Earl says that this past earthquake should be a call to action for the people and officials of Bakersfield if and when an earthquake were to hit closer to the city.
It's designed to protect the people living in the structure to a certain extent. Obviously, if we get a bigger earthquake than probably what we have, say 8 or 9, you may see some severe damage to the structure.
Al Anon, Assistant Director of Public Works of Kern County, says that California's building codes are updated every 3 years as they learn from previous earthquakes on what works and what doesn't.
Building codes are designed in a way to protect and to assure that the structure can withstand certain earthquake loadings, so it does not collapse during an earthquake.
Anand says that one of their concerns are older buildings and encourages the community that they see an unsafe or potentially dangerous building to make them aware of it.
They were built back in 1970s, 60s. Those, what you call, are existing. They may not be conforming to the existing building code, but they are existing already, and we do not have the mechanism to go back, or the law does not allow us to go back and retrofit.
Officials say that if you see your home or any structure that has a crack that's more than 1/4 of an inch, it needs to be inspected by personnel. Live in Bakersfield, Leslie Gooden, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
Leslie, thanks. The Kern County Board of Supervisors will hold a special meeting tomorrow at their chambers in downtown Bakersfield. At the meeting, supervisors are expected to proclaim a state of emergency within the county and request national and presidential declarations as well. The special meeting regarding the earthquakes will be held tomorrow at 2 p.m. at their chambers on Truxton Avenue.
Taking you in the Live Center, talking about what's on a lot of people's minds. Is another earthquake coming? Well, scientists at the U.S. Geological Survey said there are possible chances of more earthquakes that could strike in Kern County in the next week. The chances of an earthquake magnitude 5.0 or higher, about 56%. You can see here on the map just exactly where all these hot spots are popping up. The red, of course, the more intense shaking. A chance of a 6.0 or higher, according to USGS, about 8%. Chances of a 7.0 or higher, 1 in 100. So that is the good news that USGS officials have been talking about. Of course, Dr. Lucy Jones, she's sort of become the all-star rock star of the USGS and the seismologist world. She tweeted out just today, a day or two after every big earthquake of her career, we hear rumors that a bigger earthquake is going to happen. We are denying it to avoid a panic. This rumor is no more true now than it was after Northridge, but of course the chance still exists, and we heard after that 6.4 there was a chance of a greater one. They were right in that, but of course they want to calm some fears with those percentages. They're pretty low for a big earthquake. And I want to bring you some breaking news. Just a moment ago, the president tweeted about the earthquake situation just about an hour ago, saying he spoke with Congressman Kevin McCarthy about the earthquakes in our state and informed him that we will be working very closely with emergency funding. Also spoke to the governor, the president says, and they are all working together to make sure the relief to the Ridgecrest and Kern County areas comes soon. Jess?
Well, with scientists saying there is a possible chance that another earthquake could strike in Kern County, residents aren't taking any chances and are stocking up on supplies in case of another emergency. Thousands of people flocked to Costco on Rosedale Highway over the weekend, wiping out shelves of non-perishable items like canned goods and bottled water. That rush for supplies continued today with lines of people waiting outside the warehouse 15 minutes before the store opened. Many of the people standing outside say they were there specifically for water. Within about 30 minutes of the store opening their doors, the shelves started looking sparse, even though Costco was limiting people to buying only 4 cases at a time. Some people say it's better to stock up now than be sorry later.
Well, I have food stocked up. I have water. I have about 15 cases of water stocked up. I have plenty of canned goods, stuff like that.
Actually,
so
they're short on water. Usually there's a lot of water, but obviously with this little scare they got, it's going down pretty good. But yeah, the shelves are a little bit empty, but I'm pretty sure Costco's prepared for all that right now, and yeah, they're stocking up pretty good.
Other stores across Kern County, including Winco, Walmart, and Target, also tell 23 ABC they've been slammed with people buying bottled water.
Well, if a major earthquake were to strike within an epicenter here in Kern County, are you and your family prepared to handle that aftermath? Well, tonight on 23 ABC News at 6, we look into ways that you can help get your family in gear for potential disasters, knowing how to shut off your gas line, to having a plan in place. There's no step too small to getting you prepared for catastrophe. We'll hear from local fire officials tonight on what you should do right now and what you should learn, coming up on 23 ABC News at 6.
The Kern County Fire Department is reminding everyone tonight the importance of being prepared for a disaster, earthquake or otherwise, emphasizing 2 different apps that can be a lifeline in an emergency. The first app is the Ready Kern Alert System. It's a local system designed to notify you if there is a safety concern here in Kern County. If you download the app, you'll receive emergency voice and text messages. We have a direct link where you can sign up for the emergency alerts on our website, turn23.com. Another app you can use is Smart 911. This local app can help provide valuable information to emergency crews like allergies, pets, disabilities, and other details that are valuable in a disaster situation. Both apps can be used in the event of earthquakes, severe weather, fires, or floods.
The Naval Air Weapons Station in China Lake remains closed tonight following those massive earthquakes to continue assessing possible damage and evaluating their facilities. The base was evacuated on Friday after that 7.1 earthquake rattled the region. The earthquake rendering the naval station to be, quote, not mission capable, Officials at the naval base are telling employees not to report to work today or tomorrow while inspections for damage are underway. Teams from Edwards Air Force Base in China Lake are there to also help in the recovery efforts, working through Friday night and early Saturday morning. Officials with Edwards releasing this video about their efforts, thanking first responders and others who rose to the occasion when they needed it most. Take a listen.
On a 4-day weekend, you demonstrated your genuine concern for others, your professionalism, and perfectly described some of those principles in the National Defense Strategy, like full spectrum readiness and partnering with joint teams. Team Edwards, I'm proud to be a part of this amazing place that's the center of the aerospace testing universe. Thank you so much for what you do every single day.
Luckily, no injuries reported at the naval base during the earthquakes or aftershocks. It's unknown, though, at this time when the base is expected to be back to being mission capable.
And of course, we're going to continue to have complete coverage on the earthquakes with the latest from authorities, experts, and local officials, both on air and on our website, as well as our social media platforms. There you can see pictures and videos of the damage and stay updated on recovery efforts. If you don't have our app, you can download it for free to receive push alerts about possible aftershocks and other information. You can also stay up to date through our streaming platforms, Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Alexa.
And we continue to track the aftershocks from that 7.1 magnitude earthquake that shook the Mojave Desert. And today alone, we have seen 156 earthquakes in the region that you can see on your screen. Those are anywhere from 2.5 magnitude and up. So today, the strongest earthquake that we have felt was a 3.9, and that was actually earlier today. But the USGS is saying that there could be hundreds, if not thousands, of earthquakes in the days, weeks, even months to come. So that's something that we are going to be continuing to track as this happens. But as for temperatures today, well, they are still below seasonal, 92 degrees right now here in Bakersfield. That is down from what we were feeling this time yesterday. And we are going to continue to feel temperatures in the mid 90s, but a big warm up is on the way. I'll let you know when we can be feeling that coming up next.
Bailey Despot has been missing for over a year, while Micah Holson-Bake's murder case remains unsolved. Both of their cases reportedly connected. Will now secret witness of Kern County increasing the amount of reward money being offered for information. Secret witness is offering $16,000 for information that leads to Bailey Despot, who was reported missing in April of last year. Bakersfield police say Despot's missing persons case is connected to the murder of Holson-Bake, who disappeared last March. Back in August, Holson-Bake's arm was discovered in the Kern River. In both cases, there have been no arrests and no suspect information available. Anyone who has information that can help, they can remain completely anonymous if they call Secret Witness Hotline. That number on your screen right now, 322-4040.
Coming up next, the Highway Patrol was out in full force over the 4th of July weekend. See how many potential dangerous drivers were taken off the road. Allison?
And winds will be picking up across the county this evening. I'll let you know what that means for temperatures tomorrow. Coming up next.
Welcome back. Court TV tracking a death penalty case out of Florida tonight where a man has been convicted of killing his neighbor's nanny. Before his sentencing, a mental health expert is being called in to testify. Court TV's Julie Grant has the latest developments.
A very good day to you. I'm Julie Grant with Court TV. The defense is wrapping up their case in the penalty phase of the state of Florida versus Scott Edward Nelson. Today, they called a mental health expert to the stand. Scott Nelson also wanted to make an allocution to the court. This means his attorneys wanted him to make a statement before the judge without being sworn in as a witness and without being cross-examined. The judge denied Nelson's request. Also, Nelson says he has a list of witnesses that he would like to call to the stand for him. But when the judge asked him who these witnesses were, Nelson could not come up with any names. It has surely been a busy day so far in this courtroom. Nelson, of course, convicted of murdering beautiful Jennifer Lynn Fulford, a beloved nanny in the Winter Park, Florida area. And now Nelson could pay for his crime with his life. The state is seeking the death penalty. The defense is hoping to spare Nelson's life. We'll continue bringing you gavel-to-gavel coverage right here on Court TV Live. I'm Julie Grant. Now back to you in the studio.
And to continue following this trial and other cases, you can watch all the action on our air, channel 23.2, Court TV, running 24 hours a day, so you'll be able to get that courtroom fix whenever you want. That is channel 23.2, 24 hours a day.
During the 4th of July weekend, officers with the Highway Patrol were out in full force to keep the streets safe. Tonight, we're learning just how many drunk drivers were taken off the road. CHP officials say from last Wednesday, July 3rd to Sunday night at midnight, 51 people were arrested for driving under the influence. It's unknown if all of those arrests were alcohol related or if any were drug related. Officers say over the holiday weekend, there were thankfully no deadly crashes. CHP officials do want to remind people that driving drunk or impaired can land you in jail and with a $10,000 fine.
Well, we'll talk about the weather. Of course, it was a little warm this weekend, but if we bring in Allison Gargaro, look ahead, a little bit of a break from the triple digits.
Thankfully, I think we definitely need it. From the holiday weekend, 92 degrees right now here in Bakersfield. So that is still well below seasonal and cooler than what we were feeling this time yesterday, seeing those sunny skies. And that is going to be the case as we head into the next several days. But we are tracking our latest low pressure system that made its way over the Pacific Northwest. That did bring a fresh onshore flow, and that is going to be causing an increase in winds as we head into the overnight hours. And Tuesday, as that continues to make its way onshore, we will be seeing those below seasonal temperatures just like what we were feeling today. So wet weather is making its way through the region, and it's going to be pushing off to our east. So that is what kept temperatures in the low 90s, even upper 80s here in the valley. 87 degrees in McFarland right now, down in the 70s in Lebec, Fraser Park, and Pine Mountain Club, and in the low 80s up in the Kernver Valley. But what we are tracking as we head into the overnight hours is that increase in winds, anywhere from 5 to 10 mile per hour winds here in the valley. Some of the strongest winds will be in the desert, 25 mile per hour in Mojave, and that's going to be picking up as we head into the early morning hours tomorrow. Then by the afternoon, calming down, and then in the evening hours again on Tuesday, anywhere from 15 to 30 mile per hour winds. But then that is going to be calming down completely as we head into your Wednesday, as well as to finish off the week. But air quality is going to stay in the moderate range. Here in the valley tomorrow, we will have an AQI of 80. And as for temperatures, very similar to what we were seeing today, a high of 94 degrees here in Bakersfield, again below seasonal. So we are going to be holding on to the 90s for the next several days, but really starting to warm up beginning on Wednesday as we are tracking a high pressure system that is going to be dominating over the Four Corners. That is going to be bringing the return of the triple digits on Friday, a high of 102. It looks like Saturday is going to be the warmest day of the weekend with a high of 105 and going to be staying in the low 100s as we head into early next week. It looks like our second heat wave of the season is upon us, beginning on Friday, continuing through at least Wednesday of next week. The Kernver Valley will have a high of 88 degrees tomorrow, then back to the 90s by Wednesday. Through the weekend, a high of 99 degrees on Saturday. Tehachapi and Fraser Park will be in the upper 70s, low 80s as we head into your Tuesday, and it continues to warm by Wednesday and Thursday, but staying below seasonal today and tomorrow. Not too bad. Trying to hold off the triple digits, but they will be coming back this weekend.
Yeah, not taking these days for granted when we're not in the triple digits, especially seeing a forecast like that. Well, coming up next, during moments of disaster, we often see the best parts of humanity. See how those who have served our country are serving earthquake-impacted members of our community. You're watching 23 ABC News at 5.
Hey, it's Mike.
And Danielle.
Join us for 23 ABC, first at 4:30.
High Desert Recovery will have continuing coverage on the aftermath in Ridgecrest.
And I'm Chief Meteorologist Elena Rush, tracking that Pacific storm and how it influences our weather here in Kern County on 23 ABC, first at 4:30.
This moment of human kindness is sponsored by Dignity Health. Hello, human kindness.
Well, as Kern County communities continue to recover from following back-to-back earthquakes, local veterans answering the call to serve, showing their dedication to other Kern County veterans by spreading a little human kindness.
It's for my fellow veterans. You know, there's a lot of these guys out here in the desert area that ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. And I've been there. This is for them. That's all the ones that came home.
Members of the Veteran Center here in Bakersfield mobilizing after the earthquake struck, bringing items like food, bottles of water, and more. They also came with mental health services available, helping people find shelter if their homes were damaged. One local veteran saying it's all about being there when people need you. No action is too small. He did not mince words, but it's because, you know, some of these guys are out there and they really do need help.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so nice, too, despite all of the damage and destruction that we've seen, to see people coming together just like this to help one another. It really shows what Kern County's all about.
Yeah, we're such a great community. And when we come back, I have one final check of your forecast.
Welcome back. Not bad now, but it's going to be warming up.
Oh, just a little, yeah. We are below seasonal today and tomorrow, right on track with seasonal on Wednesday, and then we potentially could be seeing our second heat wave of the season. 100's back on Friday.
All right, enjoy the week now.
We knew we'd see that. That's it for us at 5. World News next. We'll see you after that at 6.